It started when I was 13 in a nightmare. Originally, what I can remember, it started out as a normal dream. Just whatever 13-year-old brain fantasy I wanted, I guess. Or subconsciously had, I can't remember. But then it turned into something else. Something dark. It was not my first nightmare. I've pretty much had them my entire life, but what it was probably wasn't a nightmare. You see, in this dream, there was this hallway, this vast expanse right in front of me. And I remember seeing mirrors. I can't remember if there were people in them besides me, but I know there were mirrors. I should not have been in that room. But anyways, I was just walking, and I remember thinking, wow, that's a lot of mirrors. But every time I looked in one, I didn't see myself until I got all the way to the end. And at the end of this hallway was this great, evil-looking thing. It didn't look human, if I remember correctly. It was completely and utterly evil. Why I decided to mess with it, I don't know. 13-year-old stupidity, I guess. Never thought I'd tell this story. Never thought I'd survive it. When I got closer to the mirror, it, changed, almost. This one was different. This one I saw my reflection. Now in this nightmare, some background, I was wearing a pink dress. Just pink tutu type thing, 13. I was still kind of girly back then. Actually, I was still very, very girly back then. But when I looked in the mirror, she wasn't. She wore elegant dress. Blacker than night. I thought she was beautiful. But the thing about her was weird. She didn't seem human. She, saw me first, and just smiled. Not the smile with eyes, just a little grin. And in that grin, I saw ice and hate. They were just in her eyes. When I got to the mirror, she just stared at me, and I was the one who said something first. All I said was hello. And that was probably the beginning of what's been going on with everything. The computer glitches, the weird videos, I don't really know. I can't answer that. I'm not her. But like I said hello. And she smiled. Oh, that evil fucking smile. And she said, hello there, child. But it was not the way you're hearing me say it. It was backwards. And I understood every word. I always chalk that down to dream imagery, because sometimes things are backwards. Like if you try to read something in a dream, it's flipped. But, I don't know. She, said, hello, child. May I ask you your name? And I told her my name. I told her my name is Luna. And she smiled and smiled. That wretched smile. So then I asked her name. I cannot give you an answer, she said in that backwards English. My name does not exist. And I didn't quite understand that. I've never quite understood, but she explained to me that she never had a name and that she can't have one. Again, 13, stupid, should have known. But there's just something so vulnerable. Maybe it was her manipulation, I'll never know. But there's just something about her that I could relate to, you know. I was the outcast in school. I literally was the one pushed aside, last picked in gym class, one who got like beaten up, but that sort of thing. And she seemed like that too. But I asked her what she was, and she shrugged. I don't know what I am, she replied to me. And that's probably where I made the biggest mistake of my life. See, I wanted to help her. She seemed likable, or at least to my stupid, naive, childlike wonder. She seemed trapped in that mirror, and yet I just wanted to help. That's how I've always been. I always want to help somebody out. Why are you in the mirror? I asked. I forgot, she told me. And that should have been my clue. It's hard to really remember what all we talked about, but I know that we talked. About her, about me, about my life. And she made me a deal. There might be a way to help me, she said eventually. Oh? How's that? I said. I feed off darkness. I feed off hate and disgust, and you, my dear, are so full of it, she said, reaching out to touch the glass. You see, I didn't understand what she meant by that, but I was an angry child. She knew that I was, like, bullied and shit. It's really not that big of a deal now, but back then I was fairly hated. And she told me something that I would never refuse at the time. I would now because, you know, fame and popularity aren't that big of a deal to me. I just make YouTube videos, but she got down to my level and looked me right in the eyes and said, I can get you anything and everything you want. You just have to let me out. And I should not have said yes. I asked her how I could help her because that's all I really wanted to do, was to make sure that she was okay. I guess she just wanted someone to be there. All she asked of me was to visit her every night for a year. Which is fine, you know, a year's not that long of time. It's really not. So I agreed. And in exchange for me and her talking, she would get me all of my friends. All of the friends I would end up meeting and cherishing anyways. But that was not the bad part. I loved my friends, I still do. But what she made me, what she became, and what I failed to realize is every time I went to her, she got stronger. She got a little brighter each time. You see, when I first met her, she was pale. She was dark. She cried. Or at least that's what it looked like. But as time went on, more color came into her. Icy blue eyes, black lips, black tears, black hair. Except she still looked like me. I asked her if I could just refer to her as my reflection. She said no, because that would be, in a way, naming her. And by naming her would kill her. I would soon find out why she only let me call her she and her. But throughout the year, a lot of things happened. Yes, I gained friends, but I also lost a lot of love with my, at the time, boyfriend. I loved that guy to death. But I lost him, and he didn't die or anything. No, guys, calm down. He and I just broke up. We had a nasty fight, and we just ended it. And that really made her brighter. She was gorgeous. Ugh. She had the body I wanted. She had the skin I wanted. So fucking clear. And I told her these things. I told her what I wanted. Especially if it was to get revenge on that douchebag. But she said, okay. But we have to change our deal. You see, at the time, my depression was starting to rear its head. Not long after I met her. Maybe it was because of her, but I'll never know. But God, I was so stupid. But she told me, if you want me free to be your truest friend, you have to give in to the darkness. What you feel, this sadness, this anger, this hate. It's like food for me. And I didn't understand that. I didn't understand why she needed me to give into it. And pretty soon I developed a bunch of habits that I won't explain in video. I never did drugs, but I did partake in a lot of unsafe behavior. And she loved it. She fed off it. She grew stronger. I'll never forget one of the last times I went to the mirror. Broken, upset. You lied to me, I told her. You told me I would have all these friends and popularity, but nothing's changed. I know, she said in this sickly sweet voice, still in that backwards English. You know? What do you mean that you know? She smiled, cocked her head to the side and said, Dear girl, what made you ever think that I had your best interest at heart? That's when it hit me. That's when I learned my mistake. My mistake was that I trusted something evil to get me what I wanted. She lied to me. And it hurt. It made me angry. And then I made a horrible choice. Again. You will never be free of this prison, I'd say to her. And I pounded on the glass. And she smiled and said, That's my girl. And she just put her hand there. And she smiled and smiled, that sick, sick smile. When she put her hand to that mirror, she was able to push through. I stumbled back, screaming. I thought you couldn't escape. She smiled. And you know what she told me? I lied. And that's when she went to grab me, and I jumped back. I somehow knew not to let her touch me. I ran. I knew I couldn't fight, so I just ran. But boy, she ran faster. And that's when it happened. It just happened so fast. Do you know what happened already? Her emotion, her health in it, her back, what her head, no, she's him, or yeah, and she's this million. The self-fear of this cost her then. Here's this machine of it. Here's the on the